What's up, Ghosts and Ghouls? It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And today, on the 31 Days of Horror Movies countdown, we have, all the way from 1985, Return of the Living Dead.
Absolutely. And this most definitely deserved a spot on our 31 days. This basically brought zombies back from the dead. No pun intended. But yeah, this is Return of the Living Dead. I mean, George A. Romero created a classic in the night, the dawn, and the day trilogy. And then these filmmakers came along and kind of took the concept and instead of going morbid with it, they went more comic with it.
And it definitely pays off in this movie. This is like up there in top like echelon of horror movie comedies. But on top of everything, it being funny as fuck, the practical effects in this movie, chef's kiss.
Yep. Of course, I mean, it's 1985. This is the height of like horror practical effects, you know. It's kind of crazy that today we just don't have that many practical effects people. I mean, they're out there, but they're not as like upfront as they were in the 80s.
Yeah. Because
CGI is so easy to do today.
It's cheap. I guess it's cheaper. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I guess it's cheaper and it's quicker and all that, but it certainly, in my opinion, does not make better quality at all.
It might be cheaper, definitely quicker. I think that's why it's always more of an option because, you know, you can throw something on a green screen and have it done that day versus, you know, practical effects can take weeks and months to build, you know.
Yeah, and, you know, that's...
I feel like we're like Jim Cornette when he, like, talks about, you know, modern wrestling. It's like modern practical effects in A24. It's like A24 is our Kenny Omega.
Yeah, it's...
Sorry for all you people that are not wrestling fans. The ones out there will that are wrestling fans will get the reference, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why we look back on these old 80s movies more fondly than we do some of the newer films, because we know they were made with love and time and effort, and people really wanted to showcase their skill.
And this movie definitely does that. It's a great zombie movie.
Very quotable.
Brains.
Send more paramedics.
This is, I mean, it's definitely not one for the kiddos if you're listening. I don't know.
If you hear this,
yeah, it's definitely, it's a goodie. It's really not too much to talk about this movie. It's like, if you haven't seen this movie, you must be, well, I ain't gonna say you must be living under a rock, because, I mean, this is kind of not, this is, like, when you break into horror movies, like, you know, you have the ones you know about, but then, like, when you start digging deeper, this is, like, kind of like that second layer after you start digging deeper. Like, everybody knows Night of the Living Dead, but not everybody knows Return of the Living Dead, but, like, you hear a favorite band, and then you're like, I wonder if there's anything else that's, like, similar, sounds like that, and then you crack into that second layer. I believe this is, like, kind of like that second layer type of movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like a halfway gateway.
Yeah.
Like movie, like, you know, this isn't as extreme as you can get, but it's certainly not for beginners. It's right there, like you're right in the middle. The characters are amazing. The music that they use, this is like the punk rock version of like zombie films. So, you know, if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor, pull it up, and you'll tell us where we can see this film here in a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to now tell you where you can see this cult classic. Is it safe to call it a cult classic at this point?
Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's universally a cult classic.
Yeah, well, ladies and germs, you're actually in luck for my cheapskates out there. Pluto TV, it's on for free, and Tubi. Tubi always such a great streaming service, and you don't pay for it. You've of course got it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Vudu, YouTube, Google Movies, and TV. Of course, you got to rent those, but you're looking at $3.99. It's definitely. Sorry, I'm a little hogged up today. It's definitely worth a rent if you can buy this movie. I would suggest buy it. I was trying to think. I don't think I've seen it out in the open right now. No, but you can watch it for free. So, I mean, that's just amazing in itself. Yeah, so as always, we give this a rating, and I think you went last time, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or first?
First, I believe.
I don't know. I know it was just yesterday. It was like it was yesterday. I'll go. I give this movie a solid 3 out of 5 stars.
I'm going one up. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars.
Oh, right. Wow. So what makes you give it a 4?
I mean, it's just I enjoy it that much. I've always liked this film. It's one of those films. I'm not huge on horror comedies, so I put this one at like the very top of the horror comedies, and something that I think I don't know. It's just something about it. Like it's funny, but not to the point where it's insulting. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of horror movie. A lot of horror movies out there that are horror comedies are really comedy horrors because they're comedies first and horror second. I believe this one is a horror movie first and the comic comes after. The comedy comes after. And those are the movies that I gravitate more towards. Not necessarily, your scary movies and your stuff like that, they're funny and everything, but everybody should know, first and foremost, they're comedies. They're supposed to make you laugh. They're supposed to spoof on, they're just using a horror concept. This is actually a horror film with comedic time in it. And I think some people don't get that. But anyway, I think that this is right at the top of the list of horror comedies.
And on that note, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo.
And stay spooky.